Hey guys, let me tell you about Santa Fe dehumidifiers. That's all they do. Crawl spaces, attics, wherever you need a dehumidifier, this is your company. Headquartered in Madison, Wisconsin, and US-based tech support. This is a great company. I really like these guys.
I'm Jake Bruton with Aarow Building in Columbia, Missouri, and if you would have told me a few years ago that part of my living would be me filming myself in my shower, I definitely would have told you were wrong. Let's talk about this wood shower at my house. Let's do it now. Okay, so we have been in our house. It was the Spring Valley Aarow project, if you want to find it on Instagram. We've been in our house for, let's say, 2.5 years now. Full disclosure, this is not the shower that gets used every single day. I would say that this shower probably gets used half as much as the one in the master, which, stay tuned, we'll probably make another video about that soon. This shower is technically in our office, but the kids come over here. They like the wood shower. They like using this shower. When we have company, everybody uses this shower. All the wide range of products, you just saw me move. My 16-year-old thinks he needs 10 different bottles of shampoo. This shower does get used. And I know from your picture, it just kind of looks like a black wall with some horizontal wood grain on it maybe. But there is a lot going on here. So you can go back and watch a video on Reisinger's channel where he and I talked about this. I'll walk you through it again here though. So there is a sterling fiberglass, or I think it's acrylic, not fiberglass, acrylic pan on the floor here. The width is, it's a 5-foot shower. Actually, I think it's 5'5" now that I say that. And then we paid for a 36-inch wide unit. And then we also gain from here to here another, 6.5 inches maybe. So what we have is effectively, we have a tile shower that we didn't put tile on the walls. And I say that because the waterproofing behind all of this is Schluter's Curdy paper on 1/2-inch drywall. We did overframe the exterior wall simply because the Schluter Curdy paper and the Zip-R insulation, the polyiso on the back of the insulation, both those things count as a vapor barrier and are probably not the best idea to sandwich on the wall. We create that diaper where nothing can dry if anything gets in there. Either direction, both are trapped. It's not a good choice. So what we did was we accounted for that in our framing. We shift this wall, which is an interior wall, about 2 inches, and then we have a vapor open assembly inboard of that so that there's drying in other directions rather than just both sides of the wall being captured. So in other words, we kind of just make the wall a little thicker, and then we have an area that's not insulated that can communicate out. We have Schluter's Curdy paper from floor to ceiling on all 3 walls. It's, use their thin set, use their membrane, use their Curdy fix and their patches, and now we have a waterproof shower, right? So we've talked about this before. Once the shower is waterproof, all we have to do is maintain protection of the waterproofing. This is the same thing as the exterior of the house. We can completely install drywall and finishes with just zip on the outside of the house because the zip is waterproof if it's detailed properly. All that we're doing with our brick or our siding or our cedar or whatever it is, all we're doing is UV and protecting the zip sheathing underneath. We're treating the Schluter in the exact same way. And there's a reason that I'm making that outdoor-indoor correlation here, and it's because the wood siding you see is on a Rainscreen. So this is a product from Delta Millwork. It is in a Koya and it is stained this color. This is not Shishugibon, even though it looks like it might be. We didn't want any of the rough texture or any of the potential leaching of color that comes with Shishugibon, so we went with an Koya from them. This product is meant to be siding. It is meant to be exposed to water. If you're really good at math calculations though, this shower will see way more water than the outside of a house in climate zone 4 in central Missouri. It just will, period. The amount of volume that comes out of a shower head when you shower, if you're showering every day, all those sorts of things, this thing will see more water than outside. So by it not being our primary shower, it probably does see close to what we see outside, maybe still even more. So how do we install this over top of curdy paper without causing problems? Well, that correlation to the outside, this is siding, it's over a waterproof membrane. Siding outside is over a waterproof membrane. They're both designed to protect the substrate. They're both designed to create a UV block. They're both designed to manage water. So what do we have here? We have a Rainscreen. How ridiculous does that sound? We have a Rainscreen inside of our shower. So in the install process, we did the Schluter membrane, the curdy paper. I think they call it curdy membrane. You're not supposed to say paper because it's not paper. That implies that it's a garbage product because it's made of paper. Curdy membrane. And then we installed 3/4 by 3/8 batten strips. And actually, the two end walls got 3/8 to keep from pinching down too much, but we had overframe here, so we did 3/4 just to see if there was any sort of effect on which one lasted longer. And we haven't noticed a difference yet, but we'll get to that. So we have not mounted down this piece of cocoa bean that we're using. The cocoa bean has a spar urethane on it that's a marine varnish. It sits on top of these, and then you can see I can make my hand disappear down in behind there, so anything that gets in there can drain out. It's the same exact system as our Rainscreen on the outside. We're open at the top. We're about 1/4 of an inch short of the ceiling. We're open at the bottom. We're about a quarter, maybe a strong eighth, 3/16 at the bottom off of the shower pan. And then we have a drainage plane behind this. This system has not changed since day one. We took a ton of pictures of it. We've done a ton of paying attention to it. I come in here and look at it after the kids are done. We've looked at how things are drying. We've looked at how much water is getting behind this. It is a tongue and groove siding, so there is potential for that to, hold a little bit of water in that groove, maybe. But it's all kind of pitched so that it'll drain. And this effectively is working. Now, would I do this at a client's house? I think I would if I had a good rapport with the clients and we approached it from a standpoint of, I don't know for sure that this is going to work for a 25-year shower. We think of bathrooms and kitchens as being 15 to 25-year items. Stylistically, somebody's going to want to do something different by then. A refrigerator is going to die, or a mixing valve is going to need to be swapped, something like that. So if we look at that as it's not an infinite item like the envelope of the home, but it is a 15 to 25 year thing, I'm not sure that this is going to last. That's why we did it, because we want to know. I believe it will last, but I believe that I'm here to fix it if it has an issue. I will say the other couple things that we did is the top of this piece underneath here, we did not stain or treat where we cut the tongue off. And then where I cut for the inset back here, let's see if you can see if I just stand on the other side. This notch, the pieces in the inset where the mixing valve are, they're tight to the wall, so they had to be cut in thickness, and they're not on a Rainscreen. They're fully adhered with Curdy Fix. And then the piece that's notched here, we also didn't stain that underlap just to see how much water was going to run underneath there and stain it. It's not stained yet. I also, when I said Curdy Fix there, realized that I had skipped over the idea that the batten strips in this situation, they were adhered with Curdy Fix. That is a sealant product that sticks really well to the Curdy membrane that is made by Schluter. So the only thing that's touching the Curdy membrane in this assembly is that bead of Curdy Fix. That's a product that they're okay with. That stuff is sticky. I was able to put Curdy Fix down on the back of my batten strip, push it on the wall, and give it like a 20 count, and then let go of it, and it would stay. So we had no problems here. And then the boards, the actual cladding, is adhered to the batten strips with Curdy Fix as well. So there is like a potential for Curdy Fix failure there, that stuff could just fall off the walls. It's stuck. We're not having any issues. We pulled on it a few weeks ago when we were in here doing some inspecting. I really think that this is an interesting endeavor. And I think this is the coolest example of getting to do stuff for myself that, like, yeah, I might do it for some clients at some point if they had the same sort of adventurous mentality and the trusting mentality, and we could come to some sort of an agreement where it's like, I don't know for sure that it's going to work. I believe it's going to work. We're going to do our best effort to make it work. If you'll trust us, we'll try it. And I think that's the real interesting part of the whole thing is if we have ideas about how to build, if we have out of the box thinking in our company, it may move us forward with our clients. It may move us forward against our competitors. It may also create something that ends up being a failure at some point. But I think that that's one of the exciting things about being in business and being a business owner is that I get to go, well, why don't we do it different? Why don't we do this different than we did last time? We talk a lot about if we build this house the way we built the last house, then we're not paying attention and we're not trying to move forward. We're not constantly striving for better. I'm going to chalk this up for constantly striving for better. I believe that this is going to work, and I think that time will tell that this is a pretty darn cool thing. And from a cost perspective, I had a little bit, no, I didn't. I had less time installing this than I would have if it were tile. And even though we bought the Akoya, that is not the cheapest siding product in the world, it still was cost comparative to tile. So this was a cost savings. It's unique and it's pretty darn cool, and it's lasting. I'll do another update on this in a couple years. We'll just keep revisiting this to see if it's going to work. So everybody that encouraged me to go, hey, what the heck's going on with that shower? Thank you for speaking up and reminding me I should make a video about this. No change. That's where we stand. So thanks for watching on the Build Show today. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. And there are just too many videos. You're going to miss it if you don't sign up for the newsletter. I think it's 13 videos a week, something like that, plus all the Build Show Boston and the Building on an Island. There's a ton. And podcast, you're going to miss it. Sign up for the newsletter. It will make your life easier when it comes to finding this stuff. Until next time, don't forget to follow me on the Instagrams as well. And check out the podcast that Peter Yost, Steve Basic, and I do called the Unbuild It Podcast. You can find us on any platform that you listen to podcasts, assuming you don't listen on some Russia Today or something like that. We're not on there. So have a good day. I'll see you next time.